Good morning and thanks for joining us. It's a beautiful Friday and you are welcome to Issues in Society. Issues in Society is a program that discusses trending issues as it affects our day-to-day living. I am Zainab Ubiti. In continuation with our special discourse on the 2023 Presidential General Election, joining me on the program this morning is one of the APC chieftain, a man who has contributed his quota in the telecom sector. He is presently the Assistant Director, Media and Publicity of the APC Campaign Council. Otunba Biodun Ajiboye. Don't go away, we will be right back.
With an ever-evolving society, there are everyday issues in the marketplace, in government, in our social lives, even in our homes. Issues and Society brings these happenings to you. Join us on this station. For sponsorship and advert placement, please call 081 100 00712, or better still, follow us on our social media handles.
Hello and welcome to the program Issues in Society. I am Zainab Ubiti. As we continue the conversation on the APC preparation ahead of the 2023 February presidential election, joining me on the program today is one of the loyalists of His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He is the Assistant Director of Media and Publicity of the Campaign Council. He is in person of Otunba Biodun Ajiboye. Otunba, you're welcome on the program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for granting us this audience.
Thank you very much.
How is your campaign going with your party?
Well, as you can see, it's going beautifully well. We were just to flag it off. Before then, we've done a lot of town hall meetings, which were heart-to-heart discussions on the state of the nation and how we can sectorally take the sectors of the economy forward. A dissection of an analysis of each sector, like the mining people we met in Nasarawa, the farmers we met in Mina, the business community we met in Lagos, the Igbo business community we met in Imo, were actions aimed at knowing the sectors that are important to the economy, how to penetrate reasonably the important part of those sectors and connect them to the national development plan and see how well it can work in the next dispensation.
Beautiful. I'm glad to hear that. But you will agree with me that the level of support and acceptance that the APC enjoyed in 2015 is not looking the same at the moment. Would you like to react to that?
Well, I do not agree with you. The only thing that is a bit different now is probably the fact that the presidential candidate is not a northerner of our party. And the kind of support that Asiwaju has in the north is overwhelming. But we haven't done any campaign in the north, apart from the one we did in North Central Jos, which was exceedingly successful. The stadium was filled to the brim. The whole city was agog, so you can't say that. But the fact that Asiwaju is not a Buhari, and that could, make a little bit of difference. But the North accepts the candidacy of Asiwaju.
Well, thank you. 80% is there. It is believed that 80% of Nigerian problem is that of a bad leadership. How does your principal officer tend to change this narrative?
You see, you must understand what leadership actually means. Leadership does not exist in theory only. The theory of leadership is good enough to straighten out what the principles for and of good leadership are. The practice of leadership is in reference and experience. If you talk about leadership in Nigeria today, one of the most resourceful leaders we have in the political landscape is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. As a matter of fact, outside leaders that existed in the First Republic, the cream of La Sardauna, of Sokoto, Tafawa Balewa, Okpara, Anthony Enao, Awolowo, and all of that, Nnamdi Azikiwe, I've not seen any other generation of politicians that has produced a leader as credible, experienced, result-oriented as Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let's take, for instance, leadership is experiential. It does not exist only in theory. Experience of leadership, from what we can see from what Asiwaju has done, Asiwaju is not only a leader that produces infrastructural and developmental results, but a leader that builds leaders. That is a leader that will live forever and will never die.
Your town hall meeting with the farmers, there was a growing concern about your candidate's health and the status of his whatever. I'm surprised that he's able to go to all this place you mentioned. Can you address that?
Those that are talking about health of Asiwaju, they are the enemies of progress Nigeria should watch out for. They are the chronic enemies of Nigeria. Health is bad health, something you can keep in your pocket. Bad health is a very visible thing. If anybody has bad health, everybody will see. A man has been John Kenti, Mina, Nasarawa, Imo, Lagos, Anambra, everywhere, and you say he doesn't have good health. If he has good health, what should he be doing? Tell me what somebody with good health does that is not doing. Obi, that is a much younger human being, has he done as much as Asiwaju has done? So the theory of bad health exists in their mental environment. It's not real. People should not take it seriously. They are mere jokers. Asiwaju is healthier than a whole lot of them talking, because this is a man who works in the afternoon, keeps vigil at night. He sleeps, he barely sleeps, and he's up and running. As they say, he's not.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that response. There is a widely applauded, the Nigerian widely applauded the manifesto of His Excellency. But in the manifesto, look at it very well, you see that the APC is not comfortable with the performance of this administration.
That's not correct.
Okay. Can you tell us about the manifesto?
This administration has done well. If you come around to say that the much they have done has not been communicated properly to the people, yes. Half of the people running down these administrations are opposition. And what is the opposition supposed to do? To run down the government. And that's why they are running the government down. While our party is proud of this present government, what we can only do is that there is no one government that can do everything required to take a nation to El Dorado. So we are committed to making it better from where they have left it, or where they might leave it. So there is no confusion with respect to what we can do. Asiwaju is one of the best leaders Nigeria will ever experience. Take my word for it. I'm not joking.
Thank you. Subsidy removal is one of the major controversies since 2015. What is the plan of His Excellency's candidacy to change this narrative and put it to rest forever?
Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is an economic manager. He understands economics. He knows the developmental economics. How, if subsidy is good for removal, it will be removed. If it is not good for removal, it will be managed.
Okay.
That's all I can tell you. But I see a simple example he has cited to me once, or what publicly cited once, is, look, if I have 5 cars and you have just a motorcycle and we're paying the same price for petrol, is it fair? That was what he said. And from there, I can interpolate and see exactly where his mind is thinking. But he's a fantastic economic manager.
Okay. From the layman perspective, it's got everybody, all Nigerians that could pick the manifesto and go through it, especially when we have the issue of reading as a country. I want you to share with us the plan of security, job creation, and youth empowerment in your manifesto.
can't possibly discuss the manifesto in the little minutes left for us in this interview, but let's take employment, for instance. Ashwaju does not believe Nigeria should have problem of employment. Reason is simple. We have enormous human resources, untapped. We have enormous natural resources, untapped. Why should we have problem of employment? So, connecting the dots is the problem. Putting the idle people on the idle resources, natural resources. The land mass we enjoy in this country is humongous, it's great, it's big. Our sea, our water, we have the sun, we have almost everything in abundance naturally. Why should we be poor? Every local government in this country can cultivate huge farmland and employ people. Why can't we go mechanized? Why do we have 21 million cows and we still import milk? 21 million cows, we still import milk. Why? Why do we have as much gas and we are still suffering from lack of electricity? Why? If anybody can answer these questions genuinely, a good leader, Nigeria's problem will be solved. Unemployment will be over. Feeding will be a thing of the past.
Taking you up on this issue of importation, we are perceived to be an import-dependent country. What is His Excellency? What are his plans towards making the country an export base?
Stimulate the economy. I've just told you. Stimulate the economy. Export agricultural. Look, for God's sake, they take cocoa from here. They bring back coffee. They bring back chocolates. So I ask you, what will it cost a nation to bring the infrastructure, machinery that makes chocolate? To me, it's simple. It is the leadership willpower that is missing. The day we get the leader that has the right willpower, the day the problem of Nigeria will be solved.
And you believe, of course, I know that.
We flare our gas. Russia makes $50 million almost every day from gas. The same gas that we flare away in Nigeria, and yet somebody is saying Nigeria is poor. Ashwaju will change the narratives. Quote me.
That would be great. We are looking forward to that. And as we wind up this interview, I want you to share with us some of your, the confidence. Can you express confidence in this electoral?
Bola has done greatly in the area of the sanctity of our electoral process.
And you can express your confidence.
Bola has done well. Bola has never imposed anything on the electoral process. APC loses elections. APC loses candidature. APC loses a lot under him, and he feels, look, if I begin to manipulate the system, the electoral process will suffer. So,
as an in-house person, which of these opponents is your greatest obstacle? If you want to share that to us.
None. The old man in PDP, Atiku, is old. He doesn't look as if he can get it because he's been at it for too long. And for me, look, compare and contrast with somebody who's never lost an election. Ashwaju has never lost an election. Obi is a non-starter. The man is just trying to gallivant, look for his way, and he's a tribal bigot, so to speak. His catchment area is the Igbo. That's not. So who are we? Kwankwaso is limited. The only fellow that has transversed beyond his shores, that is the southwest, is Ashwaju. The Igbo community just donated 1 billion naira unexpectedly. And they have started to say, look, this is the candidate from the south that can salvage. That's what we're talking about. The north, can see what happened in Kano yesterday. I was in Jos, see what happened in Jos. Everywhere we had gone in the north, it's been massive, overwhelming acceptability of his candidature. What are we talking about? Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is not only old, his candidature appears jinxed. I'm not being pessimistic, it's just obvious. A man that has never lost an election is a man to watch. A man that continually loses election. You can understand.
So, this, I think this is about the final question. This administration has not done so well in the area of security. What is the plan of His Excellency towards assuring Nigerians that come 2023 will go to bed and sleep well as against what is ongoing today?
When last did you hear about farmers others clash? The herdsman.
It's been a while.
When last did you hear about Boko Haram?
It's been a while.
Oh, some of these things are politically motivated. Take it or leave it. Secondly, this government has empowered the military in no small way, very, very big ways. Some of the equipment to fight this insecurity are just arriving. Look at what I say this all the time. In the past, even Abuja was bombed several times. In the past, people that live in Abuja were living in serious fear. This government wiped that out. In the past, 39 local governments in the northeast were in the hands of the insurgents, the Boko Haram, with their flags. When did we hear that last? That has been totally eradicated. So if you say this government has not done well in the area of security, you are not being sincere with yourself. You can say, as we're quelling one aspect of insecurity, another is kidnapping was not in vogue. It has started, so Asiwaju is coming to deal with insecurity in the way technology can assist. He will use technology to deal with insecurity. You see the difference.
So, this is for you. You are a telecom guru. We have a lot of challenges in the telecom sector right now, which is Asiwaju bringing anything, especially in the area of tariff. Does he have anything that he...
Well, I'm surprised that you have investigated me, researched me to the extent that you know that I was an active player in the telecom sector. Yeah, it's fine. The telecom sector was getting to saturation, and government needs to open new frontiers. The 5G licenses have been auctioned, new frontiers will be open, and dealing relationship between the network owners, operators, and consumers, the relationship has to be made more friendly. Once we can get a friendlier relationship, it won't be difficult to communicate to the masses and the consumers the need to either increase tariff or to make services better. Don't forget that there's little we can do without telecommunications. And the network owners were losing revenue, particularly in the northeast, as their base stations were being destroyed on a daily basis. But all of that will come to an end. Don't forget that Asiwaju is an investor in the telecom sector. His investment in Econet was huge. And he's a businessman. He was in the private sector. He understands the plight of the private sector operators. And he would do so well to make them happy. Trust me.
Now that you talked about, rounding up, this is just about the last question. Now that you talk about investors in the telecom sector, what about the aviation sector? The expense, the cost of flying today, it's alarming. Is there anything His Excellency?
I think the operational expenses of the aviation practitioners and the airline owners as well has gone up, and that's impacting on the passengers expectedly. You talked about fuel subsidy, you talk about this and that, all of that. They are connected, they are interrelated, they are interwoven. And as soon as we are able to resolve the problem, see, most of the things we do in this country, we don't have the right prices for them. A liter of fuel in the US is running to close to, if I'm not mistaken, is far above 1,000 naira, even in England. So we haven't been able to get the right pricing for some of the things we consume. Of course, government has to do its own best, its own bit, by alleviating and assuaging the suffering of the masses. But then we need to be exposed to the real economics of some of our consumption. we need to be exposed to the real economics of some of our consumption. That way we will then understand what is an opportunity, what is a privilege, and then know that, okay, why do I actually need to keep 5 cars in my garage? Why do I need to have a Rolls Royce that I don't drive more than once a year? So we need to understand the economics of our consumption.
If you're not busy with this fight that today Nigeria will not go great, what do you do for leisure?
What do? I listen to music. I enjoy Fuji music. I do a lot of. I enjoy myself. I came from Lagos. I'm not an Abuja person. I came actually from Lagos to work in Abuja. I don't have friends or anything in Abuja. So as I touch down in Lagos, I go to the club where my people are, enjoy myself to the best of my ability. So any little time I have to go to Lagos, I just enjoy myself. I don't do anything. So except to find me in that frame. Anything you see with me in Abuja is just work related. I don't have friends. I don't have. So.
Thank you very much, Otunba. Thank you for giving us this audience. We really appreciate.
With an ever-evolving society, there are everyday issues in the marketplace, in government, in our social lives, even in our homes. Issues and society brings these happenings to you. Join us on this station. For sponsorship and advert placement, please call 081 100 00712, or better still, follow us on our social media handles.
Welcome back, and this is where we call it a day. But before I leave, I like to say this. The period is running out to the general February presidential election. Nigerians, we need better future. We need good economy, a good standard of living. Let us vote wisely. Let's vote a man with a good track record. This is Issues and Society. Should you miss our today's broadcast, you can follow us on our social media handle. We welcome your comments, we welcome your suggestions. We also welcome your sponsorship. I am Zainab Obitin. Thanks for watching.